Hello, perv lords, scrub lords, and everyone in between, and welcome to another episode of I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Just as I promised last episode, I would get here to this episode. I'm sorry I could not continue my manage my promise when I promised to do this on the Sunday last time, but we're going Friday, Sunday until we're done for a bit. So I checked the how to beat section and they said it was gonna be 11 hours. We're like, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 8 hours in. So, but we're only 13 now. So I feel like we've got, let's see, if we're going by 3 years every 4 episodes, so 6 would be 8, 19 would be 12, so 12 to 13 episodes if we go by this amount. So without further ado, let's get into I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Continue the adventure. Alright, so persuasion and speak in public. I feel like that would be something that'd be required. We got creativity blowing up along with perception. All of our physical stats got a bonus. Our mind stats, not so much. We need that engineering up, though. The Strato Colony. I can't believe you cut your hair. Like, the fuck, Tang? Come on, Tangent. Like, damn. I liked your hair. You cut your hair. She grow her hair. A little tired. Humanities, engineering, life studies, biology, and reasoning. But we want engineering, which is only a +1? That blows. But we could use the money for tutor money. We'll boost our empathy, I guess. You're helping Nem with her math assignment. Oh. Nem groans, rubbing her hands down her face. I hate this. I don't want to be here to do math. Other kids like you get to choose what they do all day, but I'm stuck here learning stupid linear algebra. Linear algebra. Algebra. It's linear algebra, but it's linear algebra. But don't correct her. Huh. I'm only here because my mom told me I gotta do more math and science classes, she grumbles. She says if I want to do anything except play sports ball all day, I need to know stuff. She smirks. Joke's on her. I only want to play sports ball. Yeah. Why am I so tired? I woke up at like 10:30. Math is more important than sports ball right now. Alright? What? No way, Salomnika! What? No way, Salomnika! Nem punches you in the arm. Whap! When am I ever gonna use linear algebra anyway? I bet I'm gonna do sports ball a lot more than I'm gonna have to solve for x. No, wait, let's make a deal. She continues, leaning in. You teach me that stupid physics thing, and I'll teach you a cool sports ball move. Deal? You spend the next few hours trying to get Nem to understand the difference between an expression and an equation. Why? You're yawning. I have to do the stream. She puts up a valiant attempt, and by the end you both feel confident that she at least a little more prepared for class. True to her word, she takes you out of the sports ball pitch and kicks a sports ball at your head so many times you're forced to learn how to block it. That's Nem for you. Pairs. 0, 1, 3, 4, 5. How do I pull this one off? Oh! Well, how did that one turn blue? Well, it hit 23. Hey, I got more reasoning. And I got a bit of empathy and money. It's late pollen. Age 14. Let's check up on everybody. Oh, I need that harvest mush. No, I don't like how hoity you are. I'm not a fan of it. But let's get back to that tutoring. Tang lags you down in the hallway. Oh, Salamnika, do you have a moment? You go out on expeditions sometimes, right? She asks. At least far more than I do. Or would ever wish to, so would you mind doing me a favor? Of course. It's a small thing, really. I'm supposed to understand it's not terribly dangerous, and I'm to understand it's not terribly dangerous out there either. Tang replies. I simply need you to bring me some hop-eye eggs the next time you come across a nest out there. I would ask Dis, but, well... She makes an evocative, dismissive gesture. I'll keep an eye out. That's all I ask. Tang replies primly. They're quite common. If the reports of the foragers are to be believed, then they tell me they're commonly find nests in the Valley of Vertigo. It's positively lousy with them. Each other gem? But could I match them up? Seems 32 is the best I'm gonna get. And tutoring gives you a lot of stress. Late pollen. $100 of 100. Time to go hang out with my boy. Yo, look at him. He's so... He looks cool. I'm not putting any kind of an insult or any kind of a witsy-whatsy on him. This is cool. Cool with me. Hey yo, he's so cool with me. Hey ya. This gives you a shout. So a shout nod? A short... What would a shout nod even look like? Hey! Nods the head. Gives you a short nod as you climb up onto the walls and take your place nearby. He's good company if you're looking for the kind of company that leaves you alone and doesn't bother you very much. He's looking for much the same, and you're a good match that way. They didn't change the dialogue at all. Nah, I like this secret because it can turn into a 4 whenever it wants. Forget stress cry. It's time for Vertumnala, the yearly midsummer celebration, when the colony gives thanks for its good fortune. Well, it would be, but as you file to the main square, you can't help but notice that the feast table is nearly empty. When Anne lacks in resources, she makes up with care. Dishes are lovingly plated, soy cakes glisten, steam rises from buns and stuffed with mince. And there are great pitchers of vegetable broth rendered out from even the most inedible food crops. There's a neat stack of sugar cubes for dessert. Whole sugar. What a luxury. And an underwhelming feast, that'll be the highlight. Governor Edgecott welcoming speech this year is rather short. Her failing body trembles as she welcomes you all to Vertumnala with a dry, whispery voice. Then has to be helped off stage. Like all of you, she has been feeling the effects of famine. Everyone clears away the chairs for the annual competition. Which will you compete in this year? Participation is for joiners, man. I'm not good with science. I have really good red cards. So we'll try the bot-athlon again. Com adds something new every year, but no one's really at their best given the rationing. Running around, sweating in the hot sun seems like a luxury no one can afford, even you energized kids. The spectators listlessly wave fans of Com, and as Com announces what this year's edition will be, thumb wrestling. Last 30 seconds against Com, or you get a time penalty. Nem's face falls. No fair! She exclaims. Com's the shitboy thumb wrestling champion. He talks about it all the time. He's the worst. Com just shrugs and blows his whistle for you to get in position. Toughness challenge of 58. That puts me to 20. With 3 cards. Not bad. Whoop. Huh. Well, I guess I'm getting 10 stress. I need to get a 20. Damn! Not bad. I could raise my score, though. Get a super goal! A super one! Haha! You don't beat Calm at the thumb wrestling. Nobody can. He's the best. But you do manage to hold on through 10 seconds of maneuvering and fake outs and double fake outs. This man's a master. In fact, the things you learn from Calm in those 30 seconds can be applied to the bot you have to wrestle at the end of the contest. You wonder how you never noticed before. But much of bot wrestling is finesse, not just brawn. You win handily. Nem whines at Calm for being unfair, but she still takes second place. After the festivities, the whole colony takes a few days off break. Well, except for Geoponics and the Foragers and the Kitchens, and everyone who uses the break from their visual work to help out in the places that didn't close. Okay, it's not totally a break, but you may as well take it easy anyway. You know what? I think I'm gonna go expeditioning. Explore the map. I don't have Valley of Vertigo. Whoop. I didn't mean to wear the glasses. Whoa. Oh, Valley of Vertigo. We'll go to the valley, because it's Valley of Vertigo. It's a new place. I'll do my best. Utopia greets you warmly as you muster for your first expedition with the foraging team. Solomnica, I'm glad you could make it. We need everyone we can get out here right now, boosting our food supplies. Good luck hunting out there. she says, handing you an oversized backpack, more like a basket than a pack. Use your holopalm to identify edible and medicinal plants, and just throw them in there, and I'll sort them out when we get back at base camp. Oh, and keep on the lookout for creatures. It's pretty peaceful out there in the valley, but, excuse me, even a little bug will get you if you're not careful. Go slow, pay attention to your surroundings, and if you're unsure about something, don't approach it. Stay on the path. Don't get lost. We don't call it the Valley of Vertigo for nothing. Oh, I could flirt with one of the more adults. No, I'm good. You're about to leave when Utopia snaps her fingers. Hold up, Salomnika. We're going to investigate some species we might find domestic. Those we want to tag and capture. Ideally, we're looking for herbivoric creatures that already live in herds and either reproduce something edible or reproduce quick enough that we can slaughter them for meat. If you see anything that fits the bill, tag them and bring them back. Tag them and back them in the Valley of Vertigo. A line of termite-like insects cross the path here. Curious, you follow them to the destination. A massive sponge-like hive of crawling bugs, writhing with life. The bugs are tending to larvae nestled in the hole of a sponge, feeding on the rich royal jelly that oozes from the hive. You step in for a closer look and hear a warning hiss from above. Atop the hive is a queen, whatever it is. Wait, no. She is the hive. Wait, is there a squeezer hive? This is a squeezer hive. Her abdomen has swollen and lodged into the ground, rendering her immobile, but not defenseless. The hive queen groans and growls at you, and the air prickles with the burning flavor of acid. She must have some sort of defensive spray. The jelly looks pretty edible, though. I have an animals bonus. Oh no. This is gonna hurt me, isn't it? $19. I'm gonna fail this. Because I can't get a 40. I can push through for 200 stress. I can't stress that hard. I can't stress that hard. Damn it. You duck and weave, but the squeegered queen is too savvy for the tricks. You're blasted with a face full of insectoid acid for your efforts and leave empty-handed. That's a lot of stress right there. Vriki are carnivores, you think, but the juveniles aren't too small to take out anything larger than an insect. Not so much the case for this one. The Vriki blocking your path is pretty large, probably about as tall as your waist, and it's growling at you over a carcass of something even bigger, which seems to be missing its head. Ugh. You're not sure if it killed or scavenged the dead animal, but it's dragged onto the path and looks ready to fight you for it. I have a plus to combat, you little bit. Why are these challenges so fucking high? So I need a 16. $22. Sorry, little guy. You ain't getting your food. You chase the Vriki off and claim ownership of the dead animal. It's no prize, it's completely rotten. Not even worth calling a retrieval team. Damn it! Something about the ground here draws your attention. It's oddly lumpy. Perception. 61. Why am I getting so many hard difficulties? Also, why does this get a -3? Well, that blows. But that gets me a 20. It's not very high in card number. Damn it. I'm good at these. Take a few steps when the ground caves in. You sink into your up to your thigh in a foul-smelling, sticky liquid underneath. Ugh, gross. What is it? Oh, it's just a bunch of unripe watato. You must have ruptured some membrane skin. Unfortunately, unripe watato smells awful, and so will you for the rest of your expedition. Damn it. I'm not doing too well. I'm just gonna observe. Miraculous, it doesn't even seem to notice you. You watch it bumble around. It's so cute. It has no legs, just a scaled belly that looks that it kind of flexes and undulates to get around. And unlike a slug, it isn't slimy. Actually, it's pretty darn adorable. You spent some time working in geoponics, so you know your way around a plant or two. Walking through this area, you notice something different about it. The bare ground feels bouncy like a trampoline, and the plants all look weirdly stunted. Not a lot can stifle nature here, so it's honestly a little weird that there's no grass or moss here. Spongy oil. You peer down at this oddly bouncing ground. It's pink and fleshy and... Wait, is it even ground? You kneel and take a closer look. More like a kind of dense moss or coral, maybe. You press a hand into the moist, squashy substance. It smiles sweet and starchy like cake. It smells. It blankets the ground here in a thick sponge-like layer, following up everything it touches. Swallowing up everything it touches. Gross. But it smells so good. You dig a large chunk of the sponge cake up to bring back to geoponics. Further analysis is needed, but you've a good feeling you've found this one. I should swap out gear. What? Vriki. I don't know if you'll be useful here, but you're who I'm using now. Bravery challenge. A curious Vriki blocks your path. It's acting strange. It keeps scurrying up trees and hanging upside down to get a different angle to look at you, then dropping down and trying to pass underneath you. It may be small, but at least it's attempting to be intimidating. That must mean something. It's not interested in your pet Vriki, it's interested in you. Even Minas Ethel looks unsure and hides between your legs. Ugh, why do these challenges have to be so fucking hard? God damn it. I can't fucking finish this challenge either! Vriki runs up your leg. It's like a giant spider thing, and it's got weird tentacles and... Ugh! Get off! You succumb to the urge to dance and shake it off. The Vriki chirps indignantly and scurries into the forest. You're too worn out and tired to continue. You head back. That was a shit fucking day! The challenges were all 60 plus! Clearly, I'm not capable of getting food. Which is something that we need. Damn it. Like, that's good, but it also adds another duplicate. So, goodbye Hop-I-Fax. Instead, I get double kudos. So, I'd get 20 kudos for tutoring. Nougat is 8, and you don't think she stood still since she was born. She's having trouble in the classroom setting. But that's why you're here. Some kids just need more help than others to stay focused. She's working on her finger to spell out words to match images on her holopalm. Her chubby little kid hands are unsteady, and her letters are pretty misshapen. That's pretty normal for most of the kids you tutor. But Nougat just doesn't seem to be getting any better no matter how many times you drill letters. It feels like you have to tell her the same thing over and over, because she says okay, but then keeps making the same mistake. Never seen a real elephant, Nougat says, jabbing her finger at the hollow palm. Or a lion. Did you see a lion, Salamnika? You've never really seen any Earth animals except on the holovids, like Nougat. You were born on a spaceship already hurtling its way from Earth. You've never even seen a dog despite learning all about them in class when you were a kid. Nougat has trouble with imaginary concepts like elephants on holoscreens. It makes it hard to keep her attention. Ah, hey Tara. How are you? Hope you're doing relatively good. Yeah, I have the chat box up, so I guess it's just taking its sweet time. Alive and kicking in at work. Alright, well, what brings you over to my stream? I honestly didn't expect anyone to show. Ah, never miss a stream. Wait, is that true? Or do you just watch them when I finish streaming, you know? You usually end up catching them near the end, huh? Oh shit, yeah, it's 6 in the morning. Damn. I gotta be up around there on Tuesday. 'Cause I gotta go to court for jury selection over in another city. I've been trying my best to wake up earlier and earlier. The best I can seem to manage is 10:30. Yeah. I am being forced by the government to show up 2 cities away just to be selected as a juror. To which I will be telling them that I will not vote for guilty nor non-guilty. Because that's just not something that I'm comfortable doing in any way, shape, or form. And if they force me, I'm gonna be a dick about it the entire fucking time. Yeah. So, I gotta wake up real early on Tuesday, Which means, by the time your game shows up then, there's a chance I might be too fucking tired. But let's change to retumnant animals. Earth animals? Earth animals? When is Nougat ever going to need to know how to spell the words for earth animals? Just because it's the way you learned how to spell it doesn't mean it's the only way. You pull up the Encyclopedia of Retumnant Wildlife. Nougat perks up. She loves learning about real-life animals. It's a lot easier to motivate Nougat when it's about subjects she cares about. Oh, sounds like me. You fly through some spelling exercises in what feels like no time, and Nougat seems energized and excited at the end of the lesson instead of burned out. Sure, she should probably learn how to spell elephant eventually, but it's better to capture her attention now and trust that the hard skills will come later. Pepe nod. Yeah, very understandable. Indeed. Did you catch the video I sent you? I think it was a good one. Yeah. And boom. Thankfully, I have a piece of mushwood for 25, so I win the tutoring gig. Yeah, it was good. I liked the video. Yo, Dis, what you doing over here, man? Nothing worth it yet. I guess I gotta go ahead and survey the plains, because I gotta go ahead and get all that upgraded. Alright, so we'll put 5 to animals. God, I need to unlock more perk boxes. It's a... I do not have Baldur's Gate 3. I still have Celesta, though. And we still have a file on there. It's a cloudy day. You hear the crash of thunder from somewhere nearby. Loud. Sounds like it's getting closer. Oof. Suddenly massive and possibly tall, something punctures the low clouds and slams into the ground ahead of you. It's like a tail as a skyscraper and a meter wide, covered by chitinous bone-looking insect. You think it might be a leg? Another crashes down, then another. And the creature's body must be up in the clouds so high you can't see nothing but the legs. Stay calm and analyze. My perception is... Damn, my perception is 50. Not bad. Keep calm and carry on. You watch the clouds, and as the next leg breaks through, you dodge it. It slams down where you've been with enough force to crush a boulder to dust. This creature's so unbelievably massive, you're like an ant to it. As it passes overhead, you marvel at how such a thing could even exist, and hope it never wanders any closer to the colony. Not bad. Can't believe I have 50 perception. Damn. I just want to play with you again. I hate that I'm always busy. Stay calm and anal. I mean, what? Face blue wide eyes. Face blue wide eyes. Man, we should have like an actual talk about like the time that you and I are actually available to hang. Because these days, like, I had a conversation inside my own brain with myself. The fact that I rarely hang out with any of my friends these days, aside from Dingo. He's like the one solid buddy. Oh, this game is pretty. So, in this game, anyone can die. I have found out. We have lost 2 adults and a child. My goal is to try and keep as many people alive as possible, and currently we're starving. And the whole food skill checks, they're a lot higher than what I can manage, so I have to get better cards, which are called memories. And then I purge them by spending an entire month resting. Drifts of spark snow make this area hard to pass through. Your feet keep sinking into it, and you have to work to get them free with every step. The only way forward here is through an especially deep area. Take a break and play in it. You make a snow buddy, or at least you try. The tiny blue crystals don't pack together very well, and the stuff quickly melts just from the heat of your body. The acidic snow gives you a hot, scratchy rash between your fingers. You probably should have worn gloves. You appraise your lumpy snow buddy. It looks a little sad. Maybe it just needs some accessories. Well, that was a lot of commentation. Children. I don't see an issue. I mean, what? Pepe Nodders? Oh, God. Yeah, well, you play as a child. There's even an achievement for getting to your 10th year, which means you can die at the start of the game, if I have that correct. You've stopped to admire the light glinting off the water of a shallow, circular lake when you notice some strange rocks near your feet. They're pink and red and bobbing in the shallow water at the shore. You've seen these colorful floating rocks before, but when you brought Dis back to show him where they were, you couldn't find them again. Repeat the pattern. You play a memory game with them. Touching the stones in the pattern they give you, they feel emotions coming from the rock, affection, interest, gratefulness. Somehow they understand you and like the contact. Are they creatures or rocks? Sometimes the lines between the two can be blurry. On Vertumna, you can't move but learn about a world from creatures who pass by and touch them. Like the way animals rub and leave their scent, these rocks entice animals to play with them and leave information about the world. You got the sense they're excited about your new scent. To what end? You don't quite know. I'm so hungry. Just like grow up. Pepe, think. Well, that's the goal. Make it to 20 years old and keep as many people alive as possible, I believe. There's not much to find out here, but peaceful atmosphere and is great for contemplation. You find a particularly beautiful plateau where you can see the plains spread out before you like a picnic blanket. Round lakes dotting the land like glimmering mirrors of sky. Dis is scouting further ahead. He was eager to find some adventure. Catch up with Dis. There's no adventure where Dis is either. There is some peaceful territory right here. Boring. Damn it, I'm almost at max stress again. One of your jobs as a surveyor is to document the flora and fauna through photographs. You spotted a small animal in the crook of the tree, so it's perfectly camouflaged. You can easily see it when it breathes, though. You had a camera built into your holopalm, but it's not equipped to capture difficult shots like this. You'll need to put in the work. Find a better angle. Alright. Dude really do be looking like a sub. Not that kind of sub. What the fuck? There's one bonus for pairs. 5. And then we got a Thippergle! Yeah. Victorious. No skill changes because I'm hungry. 5 kudos. You climb up a tree to get an angle from above, not disturbing your subject. It comes out great. A very avant-garde. Utopia is glad for the shot. The terrain here is strange. Some kind of smooth rock covered in lichens and tiny plants. It's weirdly warm, and the spark snow melts when it hits. When it hits it. Plus 1 to red cards. All right. I'm gonna burn myself out on this one. But if I can minus a single point of stress, I will. Bonus to pairs. And another Thippergle. Yes. And only 7 stress. After cautiously walking around for a few minutes and observing quietly, you realize the ground is alive and something rumbles slightly. What you thought was a rock slowly opens. It's an eye. It stares at you dreamily and stares back fascinated. This must be a very ancient creature. It's so vast it completely merged with the surroundings. There are even trees growing on it. A little animal like a moth with huge webbed feet lands between you and the massive eye and starts preening. The eyes dilate to focus on the moth and then slowly close again in what you think might be contentment. After a minute, you feel a faint rumble underneath your feet, regular breathing in and out, snoring. You creep off the creature, careful not to wake it. You're too worn out and tired to continue, and you have to go home now. No! I only got +1 perception. That blows. Being hungry sucks. And I'm stressed out. And we're starving. And I ain't got food. We're all gonna die of hunger on this planet. You're enjoying some quiet time on the walls when you look down to see a group of school children on a field trip outside the wall. Wait, are you missing a field trip? Aw, maybe you are missing something by doing all your schoolwork up here alone. First words have been forgotten. It's been 3 seasons of heavy food rationing, getting more and more strict. As a year dragged on and the fields continued to struggle, you've been wasting away. You all have. It's not just the lack of calories, there haven't been enough vitamins and good stuff in the food you're eating. Your muscles ache all the time. Sometimes you feel strangely euphoric, filled with an inexplicable energy. It often feels like there are weights tied to your shoulders, pulling you down. You're tougher than most, but you still have trouble sleeping despite being tired all the time. You spend the whole day dazed in a fog. It's hard to tell dreams from reality. Last week you were brushing your teeth when you noticed that some of your teeth were wiggling. You brushed and brushed and brushed. All of your teeth began to fall out of your mouth, clinking into the sink like pebbles and washing down the drain. Horrified, you start screaming only to snap out of it and realize you've been staring at yourself in the mirror the whole time, lost in a hallucination. Your friends stop working and retreat to their quarters. You lie to each other on the HoloNet, saying you're all okay and taking it easy, waiting for the harvest. Well, the harvest came and went, as meager as ever. Your mother hasn't given up and never rests, never stops working, and as much as your dad begs her to, she must be sleeping in geoponics because you hardly ever see her in the family quarters anymore. From where you lie nestled in the bed of your cozy fugue. Fugue. It all seems like a far too much effort to bother with. Help Mom in geoponics. You're out here in the fugu. Oh, thank you. You're out here in the fields with her, being her sidekick, helping fetch things. She never slows down when the robo plow finally breaks. Yeah, thank you very much. Under the pressure, she doesn't. She's out here even longer doing everything by hand. But your parents feel responsible for this famine. But as head of geoponics, your mom takes it personally. She's been skipping meals, relying on water and pressed soybean rations, just enough calories to keep a body moving, but not enough to stay healthy. Yet she never lets up, working herself to the bone, barely even sleeping, increasingly shallow-eyed and gaunt. You and your dad try to slow her down, but, well, she's a stubborn woman. If not her, she says, then who? You and your dad are in the lounge, slowly sipping your vegetable broth, when there's a commotion at the doors. Somebody runs in, gasping for breath, yelling at you and your father to come to... No, not Mom! No! You're never knowing deep in the pit of your stomach that something terrible just happened. When you see your face... When you see the faces in agriculturists, your mom's people, you know the feeling's real. Your dad sees her body first. Fuck! Damn it! He lets out a cry like something you've never heard before. A deep, unimaginable pain dragging from the darkest parts of where fear lives. Fuck! Your dad falls to his knees beside the frail body of your mother. He pulls her into his arms and sobs, wretched and agonized. You don't even know what to think. Your mom always seemed larger than her body, but seeing her now, there's nothing but a fragile shell. I tell you, she didn't even cry out. She just went to her knees and then lay in the dirt. And that was it. Yeah, waifu down. She's gone. plus 42 stress? Ow! Your mother's body is taken to the incinerator, and that night the colony gathers to pay their respects. I think I'm going to grieve on my own. You hear from the others that the funeral service was beautiful, just like how they used to do it in space, but your mother's body was placed in the colony recycler, and her remains will be used to nurse the fields. Even in death, she gives to the land. Your dad, the new head of geoponics, encourages you to take the same time off to process your grief. What do? Get back to work. Your mom wouldn't want you to be weak. She toiled too hard for you to sit around and feel sorry for yourself while no work is done. A few days after the funeral, surveyors return with unexpected bounty from the Valley of Vertigo. It's enough to survive another month, until the new year maybe, if you keep rationing. The colony will continue to limp along, but without your mother. Fuck! Time to find someone else to attach to. Pepe Sag. Aww. Well, I guess it's time. I am now one parent down. We are shoveling dirt. Gotta help that soil work. How much stress have I got? 86 stress? You know what? Fuck it. We'll push past it. We'll add all the stress. We're going for a super goal! And we even beat the super goal. We're maxing out stress to get the job done as best as we can. The roar wakes you. It would wake the dead. It shakes the walls, rumbling through the ship's hull, and makes your heart skip a beat. You're paralyzed by a sudden clench of fear in your gut. Though your porthole window, you hear a metal screeching and people shouting, then another roar, guttural and rumbling with the sound of a mountain collapsing. Something enormous is out there. You don't know what gives you the courage, but you run out to the fields and face the horrible creature, face to Oh, shit. It has no face. In place of a face or even a head, its body just unzips, revealing... So you telling me if you want to increase my play with work, I need to be depressed? Sign. You need to be depressed. Sign me the fuck up. Hey, it's me. What the fuck game did they put me in the fucking game? What the fuck? Oh, God. Revealing a mess of writhing pink tentacles and blinking eyes pocked with jagged... Pepe laugh. Monk ass. Asymmetrical teeth. It stands on 4 enormously powerful legs. Each is wide across the tree trunks, clinging to its back, and its thick, slug-like tail are clumps of lichen that that glow faintly in the night. The creature is nearly twice the height of a greenhouse. It stands on top of the flattened one. The wreckage of lattice and plants all around, flickers of light from the plas rifles and stun gloves light it from underneath, and the stench of ozone is thick in the air. You see Nem and her brother Calm darting in and out around its legs with their twin shocks of red hair. The faceless creature launches into another greenhouse, oblivious of the soldiers trying to herd it away. The monster left a trail of destruction from where it smashed right into the wall. Smaller creatures are pouring into the gap and heading towards. They're headed straight to command. You watch helplessly as the hordes of animals storm to command, sneaking through torn away panels and smashing through windows. It's too far away to hear the screams, but Governor Udicott is inside. You have to do something. The governor, who's way too fucking old. The monsters. Or the girl I like and his brother. And her brother. I think I know the answer. Oh, this is going to be a tough challenge, isn't it? +2, friendship with an enemy. You run towards geoponics, picking up a handful of rocks as you cross through the barren field. Ayo, who's that guy? That is Calm, also known as Kombucha, the brother of an enemy. Yeah, I know. I when I first saw him, I was just speechless for a few minutes because, like, holy shit. I don't know. I haven't got the option to flirt with him yet. But then again, I'm flirting with an enemy. And I'm a single kind of person when it comes to my objectives. So. Picking up a handful of rocks, you come across. You run across the barren fields. When Calm sees you, he gestures for you to flee. Get out of here, Solomnika! He says, you're gonna get yourself killed! You grip your rocks in defiance. You're sick of being told to hide like a child and you want to help. Okay. Five, 4, 6, 17. Two, 3, 6. I need to get a 35. Okay, so apparently I can manage a -35 according to that. Okay. So first card. Second card. That gets us a 10 and 2 cards. How do I work this? $29. Draw a card. 28. Yellow flower. 34. Shit. Shimmer at maximum fucking stress. I can't finish the challenge. I have to give up. Fuck! You try your hardest, but even with the full force of the defense squad battling it, you only manage to keep the carnage contained to geoponics. You dart in and around the battle, throwing rocks and making noise to keep the abomination's attention away from the rest of the colony. The tentacles whip around, slapping the ground and knocking into people, picking them up and throwing their helpless bodies like dolls, only to be crushed under its massive trunk-like feet. The fields are littered with bodies of the fallen. Sweat stings your eyes, and you stumble on something. You don't want to look. You see, you dropped your handful of rocks. Then you feel something slam into you, like you get a lurching, horrible sense of deja vu as your broken body sails through the air. What happens next is a blur of pain, the heat and the stench of blood, your own blood, trickle in your mouth. Your eyes barely focus on the red shape leaning over you, shouting your name. Solemnica! Solemnica, please! Please, wake up! Please! Nem begs. Please! You can barely blink and Nem cries out with a relief. Okay, we have to get out of here. That... Nem's voice breaks as she bends over your shattered form. It's already got calm. She sobs. Please don't leave me too, Solemnica. Oh, calm died too? Shit! I had a bit of low hearts for that one. As the edges of your vision go black, it seems that decision isn't up to you. You succumb to the darkness where pain can't touch you. Trusting Nem to keep you safe. Braveheart. Ugh. You wake in the med bay the next morning. You can walk, unlike many people waiting for the med bed. So you're quickly released to recuperate at, well, not home. There's no home anymore. The Faceless destroyed almost everything. Geoponics, living quarters, even the creche. The council calls for an all-colony meeting to face the aftermath of the attack in the oppressive gloom of glow. You gather in your engineering with the other survivors. It's one of the few buildings still standing. The corpse of the Faceless still sits in the caved-in wreckage of the stratospheric, spilling its flaccid pink tentacles from its horrific zipper-toothed maw. It's already beginning to stink. Your mind keeps replaying the terrible moment, the Faceless rearing up and obscuring the sky, Nem and her brother looking so small before it. Governor Udicott was killed by the smaller creatures that swarmed command during the attack. In her absence, Seek addresses the colony. The council acknowledges the bravery of the defense squad, citing their heroism in finally taking down the Faceless. If only it had gotten away from them and stampeded right into the stratospheric. At least they stopped it before it got into engineering, as it would have activated the reactor and left a crater in the size of an asteroid impact. Geoponics is gone, and the greenhouses destroyed and fields trampled. After a year of suffering, starving, and only barely scraping by, you're not just back to where you started. It's even worse. Everything your mom sacrificed herself for, gone in one night. An entire front half of the stratospheric has been destroyed, and leaving quarters, the canteen, the garrison, the lounge, and even the creche gone. It's only by some stroke of luck the people hiding in the creche weren't all killed. Seek solemnly reads out the names of those who lost their lives. Too many, including Governor Udicott. You all stand for a moment of silence. You feel the weight of loss like a blow to your chest. Nem and her family cry out when her brother Calm's name is called, and their quiet sobbing continues through the silence. Yep, kombucha's out. Shit. The living quarters destroyed, everyone moves into the engineering wing for shelter. You're crowded into the classroom with other families. The adults try to make it seem like a sleepover, but you're all too shaken. Nem cries for her brother and screams at anyone who tries to comfort her. Eventually, you just ignore her grief, as painful as it is to hear her sobbing at night. You feel like you've been awake for days, and you'll never fully sleep again. You try, but you keep jerking awake, crying out in fear. Eventually, you fall asleep sitting up, held in your father's arms. Your sleep is fitful, but mercifully dreamless. God damn. Well, we can't do physical activities anymore. It busted. We can't even leave. Dis? Dis is examining a bit of rubble, turning it over in his hands. I wonder if we're ever gonna find, like, alien tech, he says. Wouldn't that be cool? I know it's hard, Cal says, fiddling nervously with a tassel on his shirt. But I think, what would your mom do right now? She wouldn't complain, that's for sure. Hey, Dad. It's been hard to talk to your dad about everything. Losing your mom, then losing the colony right after. It's too much to take. Neither of you know what to say. Yeah, Dad's got real cool hair. Oh no, I was saving up kudos to buy stuff. We can't manufacture shit now. No, not the creche. Damn it. Hey, Tangent. Tangent frowns. You just don't understand, she says. Why now? Why does it keep getting worse? Mars crossed her arms and sulks. What if the point of having all these kudos if I can't actually use them to, like, buy stuff we need? Like, hello? It's not like I can mail order more supplies through a wormhole. Ah, goddamn. Age 15 sucks. Oh, yeah. She is very much the bossy rich girl. Not cool. All I can do is mourn. No! Engineering is cramped with families and what belongings they've salvaged from the destroyed living quarters. My photophoneur! Damn it! I can't make pictures with noise anymore. You could spend time in your crowded temporary lodging in the classroom or help the adults try to fix things. I guess I got a mourn this month. Not like I can do much else. The first month of quiet passes, each day plodding one after the other. You continue to have trouble sleeping in the classroom barracks, but there's just nowhere else to go. Every day you wake with the others and try to make the best of it. Grief and anger come in waves, not just for you, but for everyone. Some days are better than others. A mass funeral's held for the people who died in the attack. Unlike the funerals you've been to in the past... Oh, I got a burp coming up. It doesn't want to actually come up. Oh, there we go. There are too many dead to hold a service in the recycling room. Their bodies are laid out in neat rows in the canteen instead. More dead people than you've ever seen at once, outside of a holovid. Utica usually leads the colony's funerals. Instead, her frail body lies underneath a pale blue sheet among the dead. Chief Commander Seek leads the ceremony. When Com's name is mentioned... Yeah. Nem lets out a choking sob and throws her arms about her mother and her brother's remains. Why'd he have to die? She wails, her grief punctuating the otherwise solemn crowd. It's not fair! It's not fair! Aunt Anne tries to calm her down, but Nem breaks away and runs over to Com's body. No one has the heart to stop her. She rests her head on his unmoving chest, giving him one last hug. After the names are read and the bodies moved to the recycling room, people gather for an informal memorial. It's awkward at first, but with the lingering miasma of grief heavy on everyone's thoughts. But eventually, someone breaks out a guitar and the tension ebbs. Your dad stays until the particle disintegrators have finished their work, then slips away to deliver the remains back to the soil. I'm gonna follow Dad. Your dad seems grateful for the company. The first time he did this, it was for your mother. Feels like years now. You watch him respectfully tip them into the precious brown dirt that remains, then help turn them with rakes to incorporate them literally into the future of the colony. He stands with you when you're done, offering them one last moment of silent thanks. I'm sorry, but both of these cards are way too fucking useful. I am keeping my memories. The sun finally dawned again on your birthday. You wake up early and climb to the top of engineering to watch the first sun's watery rays break the horizon as the wormhole recedes across the sky. Dawn should represent hope after a long period of darkness, but this light only reveals the full extent to the damage of the colony. You've been having trouble sleeping, like most people. It's hard to find a rest, crammed in the classroom with all the other kids and their families. And every time you close your eyes, you shake your head as you clear the memories. You pull your blanket more tightly around your shoulders. Not your blanket. That one's gone. And stare out to the sun as the sun rises on the horizon, meager and sickly. Hey, kiddo. You hear. Then your dad comes and sits down beside you. I was looking for you. Nice view, huh? At least we get a rooftop patio at the deal. He laughs a little at his own joke. Then just sort of trails off with a sigh. Afterward, he puts his arms around your shoulder and you sit in silence for a while, watching the sunshine pick out the broken glass littering the field, glimmering like a field of stars. Neither of you really know what to say. It's clear your dad feels like he has to give you a pep talk, but there's an oppressive nature to the silence that makes it feel impossible for either of you to start. Eventually, he just sighs and his shoulders slump. I know things seem pretty bad right now, he says. Squinting into the sunrise, it sounds like it's taking all its efforts not to cry. But it'll get better. It has to, right? You're not so sure. At least your mom wasn't here to see all this, he mutters. That's a silver lining, I guess. You watch the sunrise together for a few more minutes. After a bit, your dad musters up a brave smile and pulls out a little box tied with a piece of gardening twine. Happy birthday, my little rutabaga, he says. You know what it is before you open it. Your old medallion, the one your dad made, with the sun on it to represent Earth. And it was broken during the attack. And on the other case, you didn't notice, but your dad did, and he made you a new one. It's just like you remembered, a similar design with a wormhole this time to represent Vertumna. You thank him and squint out the swirling wormhole, still barely visible in the brightening sky. It's so massive and awe-inspiring this time of year. But it always seems to herald disaster. You're happy to watch it fade away in the daylight. Your dad slaps you on your back. What a birthday, huh? Here's hoping it'll get better from here. You both head back downstairs to the wreckage of the canteen. where they've put up temporary roofing with whatever tarps and scraps could be found. The colony's nanoprinters, the few that still run, have been working day and night to replace the necessities of life, but larger construction projects are going to take some time. Aunt Anne has coaxed the kitchen nanoprinters into making soy gruel and pressed bars, sustaining life but depressing. You and the other colonists eat your breakfast in stony silence as you mentally prepare for the day. Chief Administrator Seek has taken over as interim governor until the council can elect someone new. Repairs in the walls is in progress, but there's talk of building them smaller and thicker. But you don't have the resources to both improvise walls and rebuild the living quarters at the same time. There's just so much to do. Early quiet. Mid quiet. Age 15. Fuck. I know it's hard, Cal says, fiddling nervously with a tassel on his shirt. But I think, what would your mom do right now? She wouldn't complain. Oh, they're just spittling the same thing. All right. So I guess I spend my time here. I can't study, can't tutor, mourn, or rebuild. I guess I'll help rebuild. You're assigned to help out in geoponics. The agriculturists have been hard at work trying to salvage what they can of the ruined fields and the destroyed greenhouses. But there's still a lot of work to be done. Your dad has taken over as chief cultivator. Succeeding your mom was pretty difficult for him. And now there's this. He's never been the kind of guy to hide from hard work, but he's been pretty distant lately. Cal's working in geoponics too, of course. He smiles when he sees you. Hey, Salomnika. There's a lot of stuff to do, but what do you want to work on? I'm going to repair the greenhouse. Geodesic domes, miraculous prefab modular structures your parents brought from Earth, are in shambles. Much of the glass and metal is beyond repair, designed for the recycler. You and Cal help clear away the debris, and when that's done, you help drape tarps over what's still standing, so that the drifting sparking snow doesn't pile up inside and affect the soil acidity. Sometimes they can't survive outside a climate-controlled greenhouse. Needs to be harvested and sent to the kitchens so that it can be preserved. Canning, jarring, dehydration, ancient techniques you've learned about in school, but didn't think you'd have to put into practice so soon. Everyone is worried that this will be the final nail in the coffin of your food supply after the famine of last year. You try not to think about it too hard, instead focusing on just doing what you can to help rebuild. And that's a super goal! Victorious. You're eating in the mess tents when you hear something rumbling. Your bowl and cutlery start rattling. People look around in alarm. Could it be another attack? So soon? You begin to hear shouting from outside. Someone runs into the tent. There's something falling out of the sky! And it's on fire! You join the crowd of people leaving your temporary structures to gather in the colony square. People are squinting at the milky, quiet sunlight and pointing and gesturing widely. It's impossible to miss the thing hurtling towards you from space, like a great big ball of fire, coming straight for you. Is that it? Is this the end? After all you've been through, a meteor's gonna land in the middle of your already ruined colony and kill you all. Oh my. Mars grabs your shoulder. It's another ship, she exclaims. Look, it's another spaceship from Earth. From Earth. Excitement ripples through the crowd. Could it be? You stare up, unbelieving, at the rapidly approaching ship. The flames of its entry into the atmosphere dissipate, but a thick column of greasy black smoke trails behind. Soon you can hear the whistling of it ripping through the atmosphere at terminal velocity. That's not a controlled descent. It's an enormous ship coming at you way too fast. The ship's reverse thrusters fire, trying to slow it down, but it doesn't smash into a billion pieces when it hits the planet. Everyone scatters to take cover. You crouch behind some rocks, throwing your arms over your head and squeezing your eyes shut. You hear the massive spaceship touch down in geoponics, plowing through the fields and grinding over what was left of the greenhouses. You're thrown to the ground from the force of the impact as shrapnel and small rocks zing past your head. It grinds along like a soaring monster, cutting a great scar through the colony and picking up an enormous cloud of dust. Finally, the ship comes to a creaking, shuddering halt. You and the other colonists carefully crawl out of your hiding places, coughing and rubbing your eyes. The new ship is half buried and obscured by dust, but you can tell it's from Earth. You squint to make your stenciled letters heliopause. A hatch opens to the side and silhouettes begin to emerge, silhouettes with guns. Soldiers march out of the dust and quickly surround all the remaining colonists. More soldiers form two parallel lines from the ship to the square, guns in parallel rest, and a lone figure strides down the center towards you. Oh, hell. These people love their guns. They're going to not be decent people, I can tell already. Fugitive. Greeting, fugitives of Earth, the man says, spreading his hands wide. A dismayed murmur ripples through the crowd. The adults exchange significant looks. Chief Engineer Instance tries to slip out of the crowd, but she's stopped by the line of soldiers. The man smiles. He has a broad, easygoing smile that doesn't match the threatening aura of the soldiers, nor smoking ruin of the ship behind him. I'm Commander Lum, he says proudly. As captain of the Heliopause, I have come to render aid and bring you to justice. Shit. Seek steps forward out of the crowd. You are not the commander of the Heliopause, they say firmly. Governor Udicott was expecting Commander Morikawa. Everyone is surprised. Udicott had been in communication with the ship, but for how long? I am captain of the Heliopause, Lum repeats stubbornly, then adds, according to the chain of command, we sustained significant loss of personnel when we went through the wormhole. You cannot help but notice many of the soldiers exchanged looks. This time you wonder how many people had to die before Lum became commander. As the commanding officer, Lum continues, I declare this colony to be under our protection. As such, you are all now subject to the laws of Earth. Seek bows. Now, they stammer. There's no need for dramatics. We're a diminished colony, as you see. Governor Uticott died in the most recent attack, and the fluorescent passed away a few months ago. Even technician halitosis is gone. You see, we're quite leaderless. Wait, your mom? What would these crops have wanted from your mom? What these cops wanted from your mom? You notice Chief Engineer Instance is being held by her with her arms behind her back. She glowers at Lum with unbridled hatred. Lum turns to the assembled colonists. Well, why don't we fix that? He declares, say hello to your new governor. You hear a few gasps of shock and outrage. Lum raises his hands placatingly. Let's not pretend you don't need our help, and we could simply arrest you instead. There's no need to demoralize our little colony further. Judging from the number of guns on display, you don't think you have a choice in this. No one knows how to react. A new governor from Earth? Nearly 100 new colonists, most of them trained soldiers. What does this mean for the colony? The crowd disperses slowly, and the council members follow Lum back into the heliopause, presumably to talk about the future of the colony. You hope. You track down your friends. So, what do you think about these new people? They're just gonna boss us around. Tangent nods. They don't live here. They don't know what it's like. And they're just going to swoop in and act like they're better than us. She hugs her arms around herself. Did you see what they were doing to Instance? The entire colony, now twice as many of you, sets to work on salvaging the wreckage of the heliopause, tearing it down and combining it with the Stratospheric's remaining engine section. Spirits are high, though the new colonists from the heliopause aren't like anyone you've met. With their uniforms and weapons, they're more like an invading force than a rescue. You aren't sure what this means for the colony. As the dust settles, you rebuild your colony around this new ship, the heliopause. The new arrivals, soldiers mainly, are aloof at first. Many see you as fugitives. Together, you build new walls, living quarters, greenhouses, and a massive bunkered garrison. The Stratos engineering wing is the only reminder of your old colony. The heliopause brought enough rations for another 5 years, as well as a rich seed bank with working hydroponics. Finally, an end to the slow starvation you felt for years. They've also have more guns and explosives than you've ever seen in your life. Even the ship has guns. A full stomach, a roof over your heads, and the promise of safety convinces most Strato-colonists to accept the Helios. In turn, the Helios decide that you criminals pose little threat. A grudging peace is brokered between the two groups. You decide they aren't so different, really. They're just even... Really? There are even Helios children born among the stars, just like you. After a month of hard work, you and your dad move into your new quarters. You have your own bedroom for the first time in your life. You place a picture of your mother on the shelf beside your bed. Where's the picture? I don't see the picture. You step out onto your very own balcony to watch the new colony. This ground's bustling with so many strangers and strange new ideas. I'm not starving. +5 to colony defense. -100 stress. You feel something rising in your chest that you haven't felt in some time. Hope, excitement. What will the new day bring? You better get there and find out. I'm gonna cautiously step out. Mushwood. Damn. That's pretty big. Ugh, there's new people. Is that a cat boy? Well, I guess we'll figure that out next time. Damn it. Give me my save. And override. So, a lot has definitely happened in the almost two hours. So, we have managed to survive. No stress, no worries. 10% to get a +1 on the skill. Neat. So, have a great day. Have a better week. Have an even greater month. I know to keep this year better than last year. Because I know we can do it. Just like our colonists here can have an even better year. So, I'll see y'all on Friday for another I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. See ya!